Viewers all over the world, it's Naki Kimario and you are watching your favorite show, African Woman Open Talk Show. Remember, it doesn't matter where you are in the world, what continent you're in, as long as you are an African woman, we are talking right to you. Before we get into the topic of today, I want to introduce my sister Jacinta, who has joined us yet again for another episode.
Thank you so much, Naki. It is wonderful to be back on this show where encouraging women, giving confidence back to women, African women in particular. It is amazing to be back. Thank you so much.
We are so excited to have her in this episode for today. I hope you guys have watched the previous episode that Jacinta was in. Now, before we get into the good stuff of today's episode, I want to introduce the one and only host, the main host, Prophetess Trizah. Welcome, Mama.
Thank you so much for having me. Hello, viewers. It's Prophetess Trizah. I hope you've been enjoying, our show. And this is not just our show, it's ours together. It's African Woman Open Talk Show. We are here to pull each other's hands as we move up, as we move forward, as we progress forward. So I hope you've been learning a few things, and it is your time and your season to move forward. And we are so blessed once more to have Cinta, my daughter, my spiritual daughter, and from Malawi. And she's with us, sharing with us testimonies. If you watched the previous episode, you would have seen how God has transformed her using me as a mentor in her life, as an African woman. And she's been moved from one place to the other. She spoke about a few addictions that she had, but she's been able to get off them and rise in confidence and become a woman who is in corporate right now. And it was a very interesting story. So I hope you've watched, and if you've not watched, please remember to go and watch our last episode. Don't also forget to subscribe, share, comment, like. The key thing, make sure you watch and listen, learn, so that you can be transformed. So thank you so much, Cinta. It's an amazing time to have you once more. I love your story because I've worked with you, but it's always nice when it's narrated by the real person herself, how God has transformed you from different addictions. Last time you shared with us. I don't know what you have for us today.
So one of the addictions that I had shared, Mama, the previous episode was about my habit of smoking weed. And I started smoking weed in Form 1, actually.
Wow.
Form 1 and to a very later stage. And the other addiction that I had was sex.
Wow. Most women, they would not come out and speak so confidently like that. That's true. But I guess they have not been delivered. You've been delivered.
Exactly.
And you are not ashamed of your purse.
No.
You're going to help somebody with that purse. So I'm really open to hear the story and somebody else to hear.
My addictions, I believe, were caused because of looking for something in somebody else that I did not have. And
having emptiness.
Yes. I was looking to fill a void that I felt I had, and I went for weed, I went for sex, finding comfort in the arms of a man, believing that he is going to give me certain things in my life that I do not have, which was the mistake that I made on my part, because there is nobody who can fill that void. I learned that at a very later stage. So addicted to sex, and not just sex with married men.
Wow.
That for me was, and it was something that was normal to me because I didn't know better.
Wow.
I felt like, and when you're surrounded, it's also very important to be surrounded with the right people.
So when you're doing that, you would feel that emptiness is disappearing, and you feel like there's something in feeling. Were you thinking of the other woman?
Never.
It didn't matter?
It did not matter to me.
And you didn't care? And anyway, in our African society, it seemed like a norm for a man to have more than one woman. That is another problem, with African culture and the society, and how it's seen like you can always, go out to the married man, and people see like it's a normal thing. How did you manage to get out of that also?
Through you.
Wow.
But still, you had to make a decision.
Yes.
Because I never came to pull you out, like, get away from this man. It's the teachings.
It's the teachings, Mama. And at that particular time, even after I started coming, I hadn't stopped. I still hadn't stopped. And I remember there was one particular day you told me,
HIV.
exactly. And from that day, I made a decision because, again, it was just not one partner.
Wow.
Yes, it was going there, going there. And at that particular time, you really don't care.
Yes.
You have no care in the world.
So let me ask you, for the sake of maybe a woman
Yes.
who is out there, did you feel like filthy with your body after that?
All the time. It is only in that moment when
That you don't care, but
yes,
after
it
that,
is only in that moment when you do not care, when you are just there in the moment, you do not care that time. But when you go home, you feel the drain and you feel dirty. And why did I do that? Why did I do this again? But you go next time again because it's that few minutes that give you the confidence.
so what was causing the emptiness in you that, took you to this married man?
I think
Is it that you didn't feel beautiful enough to get a man of your own and, who can love you
Yes.
for who you are? Or is it the depression that you said before?
Yes.
What caused this emptiness?
For sure, Mom, as I said before in the previous episode, I did not love myself. And growing up, I used to look in the mirror and tell myself, yo, you're ugly. And for me, sleeping with these men, for me, was a notion of, oh, he must find me beautiful.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he wouldn't have slept with me.
Yes.
Women are being taught that if a man approaches you, it means no, but he's not looking for your beauty.
Yeah.
There's much more that he's looking for, that at that particular moment you are blinded to think he loves me. He is, he wants me. But at that time when I was with these men, it was out of pity for myself.
Wow.
It was out of no love, no confidence, no hope in myself. I found that in men. I found that in weed. I found that dancing on tables, clubbing all night. I found that in there. But once I met you and I was delivered the first time, you continued with me on my journey. And I feel like that, for me, helped me.
Yes.
Because if you had delivered me and just left me
Yeah.
to just walk by myself,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been where I am today.
Yeah.
We see that, the cause of all these actions that you took, smoking weed, your sex addiction,
Yes.
sleeping with married men, it was all due to feeling empty,
Yes.
not loving yourself. My prophet, I just want to ask you, how can you advise an African woman out there who feels emptiness, who is trying to fill it with things like sex addictions, weed? How can you encourage an African woman?
Number one is you realizing that you have some emptiness in you. So you need to know what is causing the emptiness.
Yeah.
Is it your past life? Is it your upbringing?
Yes.
What is causing the emptiness? Because as long as you don't get to know the grassroots of the problem will always revisit.
Yes.
So the minute you get to identify what is the problem, then you get changed. So there is no like general thing that we can say, for Cinta it was ABCD, and for you it's gonna be YZ. No, it's an individual.
Yes.
You need to think through and say, why am I doing this? So am I doing it to please this man, or is it like Cinta is saying, she realized she did not love herself, and hence she did not see anyone who will love her.
Yes.
But when she saw the man pulling a move on her, and she did not think it's just about sex, but she felt like, as long as this man is having sex with me, then this man must be in love with me. Because remember, she was missing love. Remember, this is a girl who grew up without a mother because she lost a mother at a very young age.
Yes.
So there was a lot of things that were causing that emptiness, people wanting her to lead her life in a certain way can also bring such emptiness. But when she came to me, I still remember speaking to her and telling her, there's more than this.
Yes.
You can do so much with your life.
Yes.
Because I did not see this woman who is empty. I saw this woman who is so gifted, but she has not identified her gifts, and she has not seen the confidence God has given her.
Yes.
She should know she's a woman on assignment, and she just needs to arise and fit in her assignments and move on without looking who is judging her, left or right.
Yes.
And as I've always said, you just need one person who believes in you.
Yep.
This person is like, it's like a key. You ignite on the car like this, and the engine just starts going.
Yep.
And the minute the steering is there, you start moving. The car is going to move all the way until the fuel is empty. You get. So I want to believe is that the first step you need to take is identifying the problem yourself.
Yes.
And you can identify it by being surrounded by people who see these things.
Yes.
Because she did not tell me much. I saw it for myself. But remember, it's also a gift that I have that many people don't have. But there are also there are people who are out there, they design things, they can feel you. Try to open up yourself and people will help you. So I just want to encourage an African woman who is watching us right now out there and here. Please stay connected with us because we are coming back. Cynthia is going to continue sharing with us her experience, you know, and how she's doing that now she's out of the addictions. And did she just make a decision, a radical decision, or it was something that she overcame gradually? She will be sharing with us because remember, even as we speak about deliverance and mentorship, it's an ongoing thing. It's a progressing thing. That's why you see her today, because we are still on, and it's been years. We are still connected. I'm still checking on how she's doing with her career. I'm on her case like she needs to get married. We'll be right back. Please subscribe, share, comment, like. We'll be right back. I love you. Hello, we are right back here. This is African Woman Open Talk Show. Thank you, our viewers, for staying connected. Remember, we are having a guest and a daughter in the house, Jacinta, and she's sharing with us her life and her journey. Thank you so much, Jacinta, for, you know, allowing God to use you so that somebody can be transformed. I'm really, I'm really humbled that a young lady like you who is not yet married can still come out and speak openly how, you know, you overcame sex addiction. You know, many people, they don't want to talk about it because they feel judged, but they don't realize by talking about you, it sets you free. And if it's something that you have stopped for years, why should you be embarrassed to speak about it? So viewers, I mean, if you are struggling with this kind of addictions, please reach out to Cynthia. She's been there, and you can be transformed just through her story. At the same time, listen and take a decision. Move forward. You know, these things, they don't help you with anything. They just make you become a slave of your own. You know, you become your own wizard. So please, just make a decision to be transformed. Change. Anything that you're not proud of, it is not a good thing. Anything that you do hiding, it is not a good thing for you. You know. So thank you so much. We have also Naki, my co-host. Thank you for being back with us. So Cynthia, you are telling us that how you overcame. But I was just wondering, did you, like I said, did you stop abruptly? But I remember there's a way you said that even after I prayed for you, you did not just stop immediately. But because we walk together, there's a way somehow along, you know, the journey, you just had to cut completely.
It wasn't a radical change. For me, the weed was right there and then. What I found the hardest to let go of is the sex.
I still remember one time, I think I called you and you're like, what? How did Mama know I'm going for this?
Indeed. For me, was the hardest part too, and that has been a gradual change. And to be honest with you viewers, there were times where I'll fall back. But what I had found was that I found the confidence saying that I made a mistake. The problem is sometimes when we make a mistake,
Yes.
you feel like, I've already ruined things.
Yeah.
Let me just continue.
You try to justify.
You try
Yes.
to justify
Yeah.
and go back to that because now you're saying, Mama is going to be so mad at me.
Yes.
You know? She's going to be so mad and
Yeah.
let me not go. That's why you find people moving from. Because now they don't want to face that situation.
Yeah.
But for me, over the years, and I remember one time I texted Mama that, oh no, it has happened again. You know? But I felt that, I felt the confidence enough to tell her because I knew that even if I did the mistake, she's going to pull me up again and say, no, my daughter, I'm here for you still.
Yeah.
I'm still working with you.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times we do not have mentors.
Yeah.
There are a lot of women in Africa
Yeah.
who do not have those mentors to tell them, I still have your hand.
Yeah.
It's not an easy journey.
Yes.
Remember, these are addictions.
Yep.
These are addictions.
And one thing I've noticed also in Africa, people don't look at addictions as a serious thing.
Yeah.
They see like, "Ah, it's a behavior you can just change."
Yes.
But it's a real problem
Yes.
that in Africa we really need not to ignore.
Yes.
But we really need to look at it and understand what these people they are going
Yes.
through and not judge them. But
Exactly.
try to tell them, I know there's a day you will not do this.
Yes.
And keep on checking on them, you know, and they will be transformed. So for sure, it's been a journey, and I'm sure there's somebody who is there and they're encouraged and they know that there's somebody who is out there who will not judge them. They
Yes.
just need to explain their problem and somebody will understand them. But one thing I liked about you is that even when you would fall, you'll still come back to me. Why did I find it so amazing and incredible? It is because it shows already now you know what I'm doing is not right.
Yes.
Yes.
So I want to be changed. I want to get out of this behavior.
Yes.
Well, most people, they don't actually see that.
Yes.
They keep doing
Yes.
and justify.
Yes.
And that's why it becomes a problem to change them.
My prophet, I just want to ask, how can you, what are the major tips that you can give someone who is going through addiction, who's trying to overcome? Because we can see what Cinta has said, that she would find herself falling back in. And when you see, when someone is dealing with addiction as an African woman, the minute she falls back into that addiction, she already thinks that she can't do it
Yes,
anymore.
very true.
She already thinks that, oh, I can't change. This is going to be a forever thing. But what major tips or what major advice can you give an African woman who's trying to overcome an addiction?
As a spiritual person who reads the Bible says a righteous man may fall 7 times, but he will rise again.
Yeah.
I believe falling, it doesn't mean you're dead.
Yeah.
So if you've been going through addictions and you keep finding yourself falling back on it and you feel guilty,
Yeah.
just know there's one day you will arise and stand. So don't keep falling or rather sleeping on the floor.
Yes.
Arise, shake yourself and say, it was a mistake.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do this again. And then keep yourself busy. Cinta started serving in church.
Yes.
So that time of going there was not there because she would feel
Yeah.
like, I can't come from church and I just go to
Yeah.
do this. So already you start feeling, no, I can't do this. But you see, you find people who are struggling with addictions, they start living an idle life.
Yeah.
Nothing is keeping you busy.
That's
And they
true.
say, an idle mind is the workshop of the devil. So definitely your mind will be filled with all these things and you will keep doing them.
Yeah.
Because, and you know who makes you fall? These same guys, they call you. Like, I've missed you, babe.
Oh, yes. Very true.
You start feeling like, what? And that time, you've not had I love you from I don't know how. You just find yourself again.
Yeah.
You know? Sometimes, Cinta said she was doing it because she felt loved by this man.
Yeah.
But there are also some women who are doing it for money. So you can imagine somebody calling you and you have nothing in your pockets.
Yeah.
And they're telling you, babe, I have some money, come and get it. Not knowing it's a trap. So you run. So the best thing is the minute you make a decision like you're stopping this life,
Yeah.
If you know by meeting the same people, it will put you back into the same addiction.
Yes.
Avoid those people.
Yeah.
Be involved with people whom you know that they will keep pushing you to stay straight.
Yes.
So number one, it is important to change your friends. If you can change the environment. Because as long as you're in the same environment, the same people,
It's true.
you'll find yourself going
Very
back.
true.
Personally, when I became a born-again Christian, before that life, I had so many great friends. Good, we used to go out together. We used to club together. But Holy Spirit just pulled me out of them. Like, I don't even know how, where. We are not enemies, but it's like, I don't see them.
Yeah.
Even when I try to look for them, somehow they will be busy or I will be busy. So we just disconnected. The few that remained, they came to understand that this is a woman of God, this is a prophet. So they come for my meetings, we pray together, and also for them they became born again.
Wow.
So you have to avoid certain people because I've realized they will always be there like, they will pull you down. And the forces they have, they're bigger than you because remember, you're just new. You're growing spiritually.
Yeah.
You are growing out of this crazy life to a better life.
Yes.
So yeah, it's good to avoid certain things. I hope I've answered you.
Yes, Mom, you have answered my question perfectly. Now, before we round up the episode today, I just want to ask Jacinta, do you have anything that you want to say to the viewers out there? Anyone that could be encouraged? Anything?
I like what Mama said, right? As an African woman, that decision when you say that you have a problem, it starts there.
Yeah.
Acceptance.
Yeah.
It starts there.
Yeah.
Because for me, I feel I was going back and forth, take 2 steps, forward, 10 steps back.
Yeah.
Because I felt that at that time I hadn't accepted that I had a problem. But until I accepted that, this is a very big problem.
Yes.
So I want to encourage you, first of all, to accept that you have a problem. That's the first step for you. Once you have that problem, know that there are people that you can speak to. You can speak to somebody. Somebody is willing to listen to you. Someone is willing to hold your hand. You just have to reach out and say, you know what, I have a problem and I cannot do it on my own. I definitely could not do it on my own.
It's true.
I needed this connection
Yes.
with my mentor to help me and guide me, because it's easier to be held by somebody who will not judge you, will be patient with you and walk with you gradually. So I encourage you, wherever you are, all over the world, know that if you have a problem, accept that you have a problem first. Have courage to talk to somebody about that problem, and your life will start changing from there.
Yes.
Wow, that is incredible.
Yes.
So, if I'm getting you right, is that don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed of your bad behaviors, because they're behaviors that you have learned.
Yes.
So behaviors that have been learned, you can unlearn them.
Yes.
So you can unlearn the behaviors through the help of others, maybe who have been there before you, or who have that experience of counseling people and transforming them, or who are gifted in that area. But it is key to reach out to somebody for help. We love you so much, and I pray that if you have an addiction, that you may be delivered from that addiction, and you may be transformed to become an African woman of power like Cynthia right now. Wow. We have not even spoken about her career, her relationships right now. So for how long have you stayed clean as we close? Years.
The years now.
You see, you can stay clean. Who said you can't do without sex? We're going to talk about that some other times. But I want to tell you, you can do without.
Yes.
Keep your body well, because even just having that beautiful body, it is a gift.
Yeah.
And that body, you can use it for other good things.
Yes.
Like you can arise in business, you can arise in corporate,
Yes.
you can arise as a politician, and you will go far. Don't allow yourself to be driven by what society thinks about you. Don't allow yourself to be depressed, because depression will bring this emptiness and it will lead to addiction. Because you start as a joke. I believe you started as a joke. Like, you know, I'm just there. But then the more you do it, the more you realize, now I can't do without it. So don't start what you can't finish. And when you start, you know, I started myself, then you should know you can also stop it yourself. Because God has given you that power. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so much, Jacinta. Thank you so much, Prophetess Trizah. We are so happy that you have gotten to the end of this episode. Thank you so very much. Please, as we are ending this episode of today, don't forget to like, comment, and to subscribe, and we will be more than happy to answer your questions. Please remember to follow Prophetess Trizah on Prophetess_Trizah. Until next time, we will see you again.